Pretty much anybody that I had a crush on would either die, get a disease, vanish off the face of the earth, or they will be stolen by someone else. And yeah, because who cares about me? What if rivalry, gossip, and villagers stealing your crush are the least of your worries? When I tell you this game is chaotically unpredictable, I mean it. But that also means that it's not gonna be the farming game for everyone. In this review, I will tell you exactly why you should buy or probably skip Echoes of the Plum Grove. And if you're here just for the tips, you can skip to their timestamp to help you with your first run and to avoid the chaos that I caused myself because nobody told me about them. Thank you N1 Games for gifting me with the game code. So one of the best things about this game is the accessibility options. If you don't want to deal with taxes, deaths, diseases, the fishing minigame, and general survival mechanics, you can opt out. However, I truly believe that these elements are what make Echoes of the Plum Grove so charming and set it apart from other farming games. So without them, you're gonna be stripping it away from its core essence. You can't change the speed of the day though, and for me, it felt like the days were too long. And while we're on the topic of settings, there's not much for you to tweak here in the graphical department, but despite that, the game ran really well with no struggles or crashes. And for those of you who are excited about the Steam Deck, the devs are working on getting a Steam Deck verification very soon. Speaking of graphics, Echoes of the Plum Grove is gorgeous, and you can see the Paper Mario inspiration with how the characters look. Tell me why I can't say the attention to detail. What do you mean? The attention to detail is amazing, from the water to the trees, interior decor, the town itself, and the food items to name a few. You have a couple of areas to go to, and there's a handy map which you can use to fast travel. Devs, thank you so much for having that. Keep in mind though, the time will pass by when you fast travel. There are also a couple of cutscenes here and there which look so cute, but there's no voice acting here, it's only gonna be dialogue, and I'm completely okay with that. And the presentation is accompanied by a good soundtrack at the beginning, but eventually it grew repetitive, so I turned it down. What I did like in the sound department are the sound effects. When you harvest things, it feels so rewarding, but even the sound of rain, waves, wood cracking, and seagulls, it all adds to your immersion, and this is what helps you feel like you're a part of the world and like you belong there. And I really love how Echoes of the Plum Grove looks so different from other farming games, and I really like the medieval setting here. Most of the farming games that we're getting these days go more into the modern day route, but this one, it takes you literally back to the times where everything was chaotic, including you dealing with diseases, deaths, and everything that's unbubbly behavior. You guys, when I say this game will keep you on your toes, I'm not gonna lie. Every day is freaking crazy. You never know who's marrying who's dying, who you're running away from because they have a sickness and they believe that saying hi to you and hugging you and being intimate with you is the best way to make sure that you die, who's gossiping about who's drinking problem, and who you want to attack because they freaking stole the love of your life. And this brings us to the story. I'm not gonna be sharing any spoilers. You can customize your character, and don't worry, these are not the only options available. You will get more once you get some monies, and you can go to the shops and, you know, get whatever you like. Basically, you end up in Honeywood after the ship you were on collapsed and your friend dies. So what was supposed to be a beautiful journey to start a new life ends up in mysteries to solve as you begin a new life in a town that has its own witch, mermaids, and a lot more that I'm not gonna share because I don't want to spoil things for you, but you do get a massive plot of land full of weed and it's ready for you to take care of. Now there is somewhat of a main mission that you're doing here which revolves around completing something that is similar to a community center that we see in Stardew Valley, but I'm trying my best not to spoil things for you. You will be helping out the town's witch, you're gonna be helping the different people. There are some people who are I can't say much, but there are also some villagers that are gonna ask for your help, and yeah, I'm just gonna leave that for you to discover. Anyways, the game is all about the side quests that you get either through your mailbox, question marks above villagers' heads, or the town's board. Everyone wants something every day, which is very fetch questy, I'm not gonna lie, and it can get repetitive, but in return you will build your friendship with the quest givers and they will give you either coin, food, decor items, or the most important thing, blueprints. And these blueprints are essential if you plan on surviving and making sure that you stay alive. So make sure you do take on these side quests, because without them, you're pretty much gonna end up dead. You can build a coop and a barn, and you have various means to make sure that your food will last and not rot. But again, these blueprints will make things more efficient, and it will be a recipe to make sure that you stay alive. You're also gonna get hungry a lot, so you better realize that the stove you get in your house is not enough to survive, especially if you plan on surviving the winter when barely anything grows. But one thing that happened a lot is that my quest givers would simply die because of the disease, because as I said, someone will be sick and they decide it's a great idea to go outside and spread whatever they have to everyone. And this usually resulted in a failed quest. But the good thing is that you could probably, at least as what I saw, you could probably get these blueprints from another quest giver. You can also unlock blueprints when you level up your skills, so the more that you, let's say, socialize, mine, fish, cook, etc., the better you'll get. You can also get some buffs through potions, which will be helpful. You can also get buffs from some of the foods that you eat, like, let's say, drinking hot chocolate can make you temporarily better at raising your social skills, because chocolate makes everything better in life. Am I right or am I right? By the way, hello you gorgeous human being, it's Miss Bubbles. I suffered through heartbreak, in-game diseases. It was also, to clarify, it was in-game heartbreak, but I went through a lot to make this review for you, so do me a favor, squish the like and subscribe buttons, because if you don't, every crush that you like in this game is gonna abandon you because they're gonna fall in love with someone else. And speaking of crushes, there are plenty of villagers for you to meet and mingle with and potentially romance or potentially get your heart broken by. In the beginning, it's so fun to chat to everyone, give them gifts, trade with them, and even insult them if that's your style. And chatting with them will teach you a lot about their interests, their traits, and the gifts that they like. Honeywood's townsfolk also love to gossip, so you will learn a lot about other villagers, even when you're not trying to interfere with anybody's business. And rest assured, you could probably end up as the town's gossip if you plan to freaking romance everyone and their mother. No, I'm not speaking from experience. I don't know what you're on about. You can get married and have kids, which comes in handy because the goal is to keep your lineage going. So you can assign your your spouse, not your spice, and kids different jobs, and eventually see yourself and your family members grow older. You're also gonna see other people get married and get pregnant and die and, all of that as you play more. So farming here is really easy and simple to do, and the good thing is that the game's controls in general are simple. I played using mouse and keyboard, but full controller support is coming soon, so you don't have to worry about things being hard to figure out. Adding to that, there is no stamina meter. Instead, you get a hunger and tiredness meter. The more you work, the more tired you're gonna get, so you will have to get some rest, otherwise you'll be very slow and you will struggle. Every week you have taxes to pay, and they do go up, and while the game starts really slow as you struggle to make money, things will pick up eventually. I will tell you how you can progress and make things a little bit easier in the tips section, but until then, I'm also gonna let you know that you can go to the mines, you can fish, you can cook and buy and sell items to villagers, you can decorate the interior and exterior of your house, you can tend to your barn animals, the typical mechanics that we see in other farming games. So we talked a lot about the gameplay here, but let's talk about a few of the annoyances that might put you off from buying Echoes of the Plum Grove. First, the repetitive aspect can catch up with you very quickly. Quests feel very samey. Like, I don't know how many times kids have lost the same toy or how many villagers ask me for the same type of soup. And then villagers themselves feel samey as well. Like, yes, they can gossip and whatnot, but the lines will start to repeat. It's just probably a new villager's name attached to what is being said. Now also, in my playthrough, I never got the chance to get married, which, yeah, I'm not insecure about that at all, like, not a single bit, but pretty much anybody that I had a crush on would either die, get a disease, vanish off the face of the earth, and I literally wouldn't see them until I find out that they were actually dead, or they will be stolen by someone else. And yeah, because who cares about me? But on a serious note, literally epidemics can spread around, diseases go crazy, and at one point I had funerals lined up every day, and this made it so hard to connect to the villagers. Also, quests are timed, which I know some of you don't like that. I don't mind it, but if you do, it's probably gonna be a struggle for you. This is also a very grindy game, and it can feel like anything you want to unlock takes forever. This can be seen as either a positive or a negative depending on how grindy you like your games. I freaking love a lot of grindy games, but in this one it did feel a little bit too much, you know, and I like a balance, so when survival mechanics are added in, I just feel exhausted, and this game did make me feel a little bit exhausted. Also, while you're adding to that the fact that everyone was dying left and right, so there was sometimes, let's say, barely anyone to trade with. Now, most of these annoyances can be turned off in the settings, but to me, the charm are these mechanics, so I feel like it comes with a mixed bag. So the best solution that I can think of is maybe for the developers to balance the game out and make it a bit more chill, or maybe, I don't know, if there's a way to just balance the diseases that are spreading around, that would be great. And this also ties into the FOMO factor, which is fear of missing out. If you fear about missing out on completing certain quests, then this game is definitely not the one for you. But however, at the end of the day, these annoyances can either be fun or annoying depending on what you look for. So with the good and the bad in mind, I had a fun time with Echoes of the Plum Grove, but for now I will be stopping and waiting for more content to be added in. It's a really good game, don't get me wrong, and the devs did such an amazing job bringing innovation into the farming genre where things are getting repetitive. We feel like games just don't really have a new essence or something that they can provide to set themselves apart in the market full of farming games, but I feel like things just need to be balanced out. And I know that everything that was annoying me can be turned off in the setting, but again, this is what makes this game different. So maybe balancing things out, as I said, would make it easier to play. But regardless of that, I would love to know if this is the farming game that you're gonna go for next. Now, for those of you who are here for the tips and tricks, let's fire some of those away, and we're gonna start with reading descriptions. Make sure that you read everything, even things like, I think it was called the death cap. It's like a mushroom. If you eat it, like, it literally says, it's called a death cap. Like, what do you expect is gonna happen when you eat it? Also, have multiple saves. Don't just overwrite your saves. So that means create a new save file and name them, like day 2 evening, day 3 morning, or something like that. This will help if an epidemic strikes. Befriend the witch ASAP because she has a special event for you that only happens in the summer and the winter. Shake all trees and sell the wood in the first 2 weeks, but also remember, you're gonna need 200 wood to unlock the bridge and get the witch's locket. So balance things out and do what is best fit for you. By the way, you can also shake bushes as well as the trees and bushes on other people's properties. I stole a lot of cherries and flowers from other people, and that really helped me make money and also not die because of hunger. Get inoculated right away. Is that I've never, like, is it inoculate? I hope I didn't butcher the saying, but what is English anyways? It will set you back about 200 coins, but it is worth it because literally everyone had chickenpox every day, and in general, if you get sick, quickly get diagnosed and buy the remedy. Prioritize quests that give you recipe cards and blueprints to unlock craftables so you can start making jam and other refined products. Food will rot, so make use of the drying rack. You get it right away and the veggies will last you a lot longer. You can then also unlock the jam maker, and jam lasts a long while as well. Don't do what I did and forget to water crops before 12 a.m. The amount of times that I cursed my life away because everything was dead because I forgot to water them before 12 a.m. was really annoying. So unlike other games, the game doesn't wait for you to sleep. It actually will wilt everything that wasn't watered at 12 a.m. There's no excuses, no nothing. It will wilt them right away. Make sure that you always stock up on lantern oil because at night you move very slowly, and to fill a lantern, go to your inventory and click this button. This took me forever to figure out. If you feel like you're slow, you can buy this potion from the witch to move a lot faster for a few hours, but make sure that you use it when you're awake rather than drink it, do some stuff, and then go to bed because you're gonna waste away some of the hours sleeping. By the way, you can fast travel out of the mine, so if what happened to me a lot happens to you, which is the lantern going out of oil, you can literally fast travel out. You don't have to trace your way back through the darkness. Fishing is a great money-making tool in the beginning, and make sure you get the good rod right away. It will last you much longer and decay much slower. When repairing items, you won't have them for a day, so make sure you don't need them that day. Plus, the watering can does not require any repairing. When you get the requested quest items, the villager can be found on the map, which makes things super easy. You can interact with the animals that you find in the forest and get valuable items items from them. You can trade with everyone, and different NPCs have different items and a limited amount of coin available. When you start, you don't have enough drying racks and other food preservation machines, so eat till you're full, then sell whatever's gonna rot in a day. You might as well make back your money rather than lose it because the food just rot. Watch this video next for the best farming games, many of which you probably missed out on. Thank you to my YouTube and Patreon bubblies for making videos like this possible. Thank you for watching, and a shout out goes to Jake Logan, The Game Dimension, and Stephanie for going the extra mile. Until next time, stay bubbly.